The year was 1944, a time when the world was in the middle of World War II. World War II was happening, affecting millions and changing history. But on a hot summer afternoon in Hartford, Connecticut, life felt normal. The war seemed far away, and people enjoyed simple pleasures. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus came to town, offering fun and excitement. It was a break from the hard times. Thousands came to the big top, looking forward to an afternoon of entertainment. Families, friends, and neighbors gathered, happy and excited. Children, excited and holding cotton candy, laughed and played. The air was filled with the smell of treats and sounds of joy. They had no idea they were about to see something terrible that would be remembered forever. A day that started with joy would soon turn to fear. The ringmaster, dressed in a top hat and tails, announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages." His voice promised wonder and amazement. The crowd cheered, ready to be amazed by the show. They wanted to see magic and marvels. Trapeze artists flew through the air, their costumes sparkling. They performed daring acts with skill and grace. Clowns made everyone laugh with their funny acts. Their painted faces and silly movements brought joy to all. The elephants, wearing colorful headdresses, paraded around the ring. Their size and grace amazed the audience. But fate had a cruel surprise. The joy and excitement of the day were about to be destroyed. High above the crowd, a small flame started on the canvas tent. It was fueled by a mix of waterproofing and carelessness. This spark would cause a disaster. In minutes, the small flame turned into a huge fire, engulfing the big top. The flames spread quickly, leaving no time to escape. The happy atmosphere turned to panic as people realized this was a major disaster. They scrambled for safety. Their joyful day turned into a fight for survival. The circus, a traveling show of tents and dreams, had arrived in Hartford, setting up its temporary home on the grounds of Barber Street. It was a common sight, a comforting sign of normal life in a world at war. But beneath the fun and excitement was a hidden danger. The very tent that held this show was a fire hazard waiting to happen. The big top, impressive for its time, was a huge canvas tent held up by ropes and poles. To make it waterproof, the canvas was treated with paraffin wax and gasoline, a common method then, but one that made the tent a fire risk. Safety rules were weak, almost not there at all. There were no fire extinguishers nearby, no clear fire exits, and the crowd, packed tightly together, had no easy way to escape. It was a disaster waiting to happen, a tragedy in the making. The exact cause of the fire is still unknown, lost in the chaos and confusion of that tragic day. The circus grounds, once full of laughter and excitement, were now a scene of panic. People ran in every direction, their faces showing fear and disbelief. Some witnesses later said they saw young boys playing with matches near the tent. Their innocent game might have started the deadly fire. The boys, not knowing the danger, might have accidentally caused the disaster. Others thought it could have been a carelessly thrown cigarette. Back then, smoking was common, and the dry grass and canvas could easily catch fire from a stray ember. Whatever started it, the fire spread quickly and was very destructive. It moved so fast that there was little time to escape, burning everything in its path. It started quietly, almost unnoticed. A wisp of smoke, a flicker of orange light under the canvas in the southwest corner of the tent. The first signs were so faint that they blended into the busy circus scene. At first, no one noticed, thinking it was just part of the show. Maybe a trick of the light, a special effect to add drama to the performance. The audience, enjoying the show, didn't pay attention to the growing danger. But as seconds passed, the wisp turned into a tendril, then a billow. The smell of burning canvas replaced the aroma of popcorn and sawdust. The change was slow but steady, the fire feeding on the dry material. The crowd, slow to react, watched with curiosity and unease as the smoke grew thicker and darker. Then someone shouted, "Fire!" The word cut through the air, waking the spectators from their daze. The word, filled with panic, spread through the crowd, breaking the festive mood. People began to scream, pushing and shoving to escape the growing fire. Heads turned, eyes looked up, searching for the source of the alarm. The realization of the danger was immediate and terrifying. The fire, now a visible threat. And there it was, no longer a wisp but a raging fire, the canvas burning, flames spreading quickly across the dry, treated material. The fire, fueled by the highly flammable canvas, spread rapidly, leaving little hope for those trapped inside. The shout of fire changed the crowd immediately. What had been a peaceful gathering, full of laughter and joy, turned into a scene of complete chaos. The calm atmosphere broke, replaced by a basic instinct to survive. What had been a sea of smiling faces, enjoying the show, became a swirling mess of fear. The audience, moments ago focused on the performers, now found themselves in a desperate fight for life. Panic, raw and basic, took over the audience, turning the organized rows into a pushing, shoving mass of people desperate to escape the fire that was quickly burning the big top. The once orderly rows of seats became a battlefield where everyone fought for their own survival. Mothers frantically searched for their children, their voices lost in the noise of screams and shouts. The fear in their eyes was clear as they pushed through the crowd, calling out names, hoping for an answer. Husbands and wives were separated in the crush, their outstretched hands grabbing at empty air. The bonds of love and family were tested in the most difficult of situations as they struggled to stay together in the chaos. The lucky ones, those seated near the edges of the tent, made a mad dash for the exits, but the pathways, never designed for such an evacuation, quickly became bottlenecks of despair. The narrow exits, meant for orderly entry and exit, now became choke points where the crowd's desperation only grew. Those farther in had nowhere to go. Trapped by the surging crowd and the quickly spreading flames, their chances of escape got smaller with each passing second. The fire, fueled by the wind and the flammable canvas, spread very quickly, blocking exits, cutting off escape routes, turning the once magical space into a death trap. The flames jumped from one section to another, burning everything in their path, leaving no room for error or hesitation. The air, thick with smoke and the smell of burning flesh, made it hard to breathe, adding to the terror. The once vibrant and lively atmosphere of the circus was now a scene of unimaginable horror, where every breath was a struggle, and every second counted in the fight for survival.